Hello, and welcome to another episode of Money Talks, Finance for All, the podcast where we break down complex financial concepts into actionable insights for everyone. I'm Alex, your host, and today we're diving into a fascinating topic that's at the heart of every financial decision we make: risk. Why do we invest, insure, or budget the way we do? How do we weigh the odds in situations where outcomes are uncertain? The answers to these questions lie in understanding risk, a concept that has shaped everything from ancient economies to modern financial markets. In today's episode, we're exploring Peter L. Bernstein's masterpiece, Against the Gods, the remarkable story of risk. This book traces the historical evolution of risk and its profound influence on our lives. It's a journey through centuries of innovation in probability, decision-making, and financial theory. By the end of this episode, you'll have a deeper appreciation of how risk has been managed, measured, and mitigated through the ages. More importantly, you'll learn practical ways to apply these timeless lessons to your personal and professional finances. So, grab a cup of coffee or tea, and let's embark on this remarkable story together. Before we dive into the book, let's talk about the author. Peter L. Bernstein was an economist, historian, and financial consultant who made significant contributions to our understanding of financial markets. Born in 1919, Bernstein graduated from Harvard and spent much of his career analyzing the intersection of economics and human behavior. His writing is known for its clarity and insight. He authored several influential books, including Capital Ideas, which explores the revolution in investment theory, and The Power of Gold, a deep dive into humanity's obsession with the yellow metal. Beyond his books, Bernstein was a sought-after consultant for global financial institutions and a prolific speaker. His ability to synthesize history, theory, and practical applications made him a leading voice in finance. In Against the Gods, Bernstein's unique perspective shines through. He doesn't just tell the story of risk. He explains how understanding it has transformed our ability to navigate uncertainty and achieve progress. It's this blend of historical narrative and practical wisdom that makes the book a must-read for anyone curious about finance. Against the Gods isn't just about risk. It's about how humanity learned to confront and harness uncertainty. Bernstein takes us on a journey through the ages, showing how ancient civilizations feared the unknown, while modern societies have developed tools to quantify and manage it. The book is structured around the evolution of ideas. It begins with early attempts to predict the future through divination and astrology, moves through the birth of probability theory in the Renaissance, and culminates in the sophisticated financial instruments we use today. At its core, the book argues that risk management is what separates progress from stagnation. By learning to calculate probabilities and measure uncertainty, we've been able to build economies, create markets, and innovate in ways that were unimaginable before. Bernstein also highlights the dual nature of risk. While it can lead to losses, it's also the source of opportunity. Understanding risk isn't about avoiding it entirely. It's about making informed decisions that balance potential rewards against possible downsides. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out, the lessons in this book are invaluable. From understanding the role of probability in everyday choices to appreciating the impact of risk on global markets, Bernstein's insights are as relevant today as they were when the book was first published. To understand the significance of risk, we need to trace its historical evolution. For much of human history, risk was seen as the domain of gods and fate. Ancient civilizations attributed events like floods, famines, and plagues to divine will. Without the tools to measure or predict these occurrences, humanity lived in a state of uncertainty. The turning point came during the Renaissance. Thinkers like Luca Pacioli, the father of modern accounting, and Girolamo Cardano, a pioneer in probability, began to explore mathematical ways to understand uncertainty. Cardano's Liber de Ludo Alii, book on games of chance, laid the groundwork for probability theory, introducing the idea that outcomes could be predicted with a degree of accuracy. In the 17th century, figures like Blaise Pascal and Pierre de Fermat advanced these ideas. Their correspondence on the problem of points, a question about dividing stakes in a game of chance, formalized probability theory. Later, Jacob Bernoulli's law of large numbers demonstrated how patterns emerge over repeated trials, providing a foundation for statistical analysis. The 18th and 19th centuries saw further advancements. Daniel Bernoulli introduced the concept of utility, showing that people value outcomes differently based on their circumstances. This insight laid the groundwork for modern economics. Fast forward to the 20th century, and the development of financial instruments like options, futures, and insurance revolutionized risk management. Visionaries like Harry Markowitz and John von Neumann integrated risk into portfolio theory and game theory, respectively, offering practical tools for decision-making. Societal perceptions of risk have also evolved. What was once viewed as a threat to be avoided is now seen as an opportunity to be embraced. Today, risk is central to innovation, entrepreneurship, and economic growth. Let's break down some fundamental concepts from the book. A. Definition of risk and its types. Risk, as Bernstein defines it, is the possibility of an outcome differing from expectations. It comes in many forms. Market risk, fluctuations in asset prices. Credit risk, the chance a borrower will default. Operational risk, failures in internal processes or systems. A liquidity risk, the inability to sell an asset without a significant price drop. Understanding these types helps individuals and businesses navigate uncertainty effectively. B. The role of probability and uncertainty. Probability is the backbone of risk management. It quantifies the likelihood of different outcomes, enabling informed decision-making. However, as Bernstein emphasizes, uncertainty is different from risk. While risk can be measured, uncertainty involves unknown variables that defy calculation. For example, tossing a coin has a calculable probability, but predicting how an innovative product will perform in the market involves uncertainty. C. The impact of risk on investments and economic systems. Risk is intrinsic to investment. Higher potential returns often come with greater risk. This trade-off underpins modern portfolio theory, which advocates for diversification to manage risk. Bernstein explains how tools like the Sharpe ratio and value at risk (VAR) help investors evaluate and balance risks. Real-world examples. The 2008 financial crisis highlighted the consequences of underestimating systemic risk. Successful ventures like Amazon thrived by taking calculated risks, demonstrating the potential rewards of informed decision-making. Alex. Bernstein's book is rich with case studies. Here are two that stand out. 1. The South Sea Bubble. In the early 18th century, speculative mania around the South Sea Company led to one of history's first major financial bubbles. Investors underestimated the risk, driven by greed and herd behavior. When the bubble burst, it wiped out fortunes and reshaped attitudes towards speculative ventures. Lesson: understand the fundamentals before investing and beware of market euphoria. 2. Long-term capital management, LTCM. This hedge fund, led by Nobel laureates, used complex models to manage risk. However, in 1998, it collapsed due to unanticipated market events. Lesson: even sophisticated models have limitations. Always account for the unexpected. So, how can we apply these lessons to our finances? 1. Assess your risk tolerance. Understand your comfort level with risk before investing. Use tools like risk questionnaires to gauge your profile. 2. Diversify your portfolio. Spread investments across asset classes to reduce exposure to any single risk. 3. Use risk assessment tools. Leverage resources like financial advisors, portfolio trackers, and insurance to manage uncertainties. 4. Stay informed. Regularly update your knowledge of market trends and economic conditions. Risk is an inseparable part of life and finance. As Bernstein illustrates in Against the Gods, mastering risk is what allows us to innovate, grow, and thrive. From ancient practices of divination to modern financial models, humanity's journey to understand uncertainty has been nothing short of remarkable. Today, we discuss the history, concepts, and practical applications of risk management. The key takeaway? Embrace risk as an opportunity rather than a threat. By making informed decisions, you can turn uncertainty into a powerful tool for achieving your goals. I encourage you to pick up Bernstein's book. It's a fascinating read that combines history, theory, and practical wisdom. And remember, managing risk isn't about eliminating it. It's about making choices that align with your objectives and values. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Money Talks, Finance for All. I hope you found our discussion on Against the Gods insightful and inspiring. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review to help us reach more listeners like you. In our next episode, we'll explore the psychology of investing and how emotions influence financial decisions. Until then, stay curious, stay informed, and keep making those smart money moves.